Alright, let's get started on the gradient blue coral part. Okay, this bit right here, I think you've got this part down already. Because the way we make this part is just like how we made the pink coral and the blue lines. It's the exact same method. And finally, we'll just give it a trim with our scissors. Pretty clever, right? And you end up with this lovely effect. Now, when we're planting this grass, we want to pack it in nice and tightly, especially where the pieces connect. Make sure each piece is snug in its place. Okay, first things first, let's check out our thread. Pick out the thread from your material pack. Yep, this one right here. If you'd like more blue, or if you prefer to skip the white, you can simply leave the white thread out. Just use whatever threads came in your own material pack. Now, if what we have looks like this, if they're individual strands, I'll take 4 blue strands and mix them with 1 beige strand. If it's a single long strand, we'll just gently pull out a nice long piece. Just like this. Then, we start by folding 1 strand to make 2, and lay them on top of each other. This gives us a double-double line. So, 2 strands together, then we pull it back and neaten it up a bit. Now, find the middle of that overlap. By doing this, we end up with 4 strands all overlapping each other. Perfect. Now all 4 lines are layered together. Let's not cut it just yet. Then set it aside to your left for later. Just move it over. Now let's take the white thread and layer it in 2. We layer them together like this. And this is the combined thread we're creating. This is the look we're going for. So this method is exactly the same as for the pink, the white, and the blue sections. Now, what we need to do is fill in the blue area on our canvas to make that blue part nice and full. Alright, and don't worry if your piece of thread is a bit long or short. We just keep going with the same method. When one piece runs out, we just pick up a fresh one and add it right in. Okay, now find the right spot on your painting. Let's grab our crochet hook. Just like we did before, go down into 1 hole and come up through the next. Then catch the thread we're working with and pull it through. Gently pull out that little starting tail of thread. As we're working, the loops should stand a bit taller than the pink part, otherwise it might not look quite right. Okay, on to the next stitch. We'll want to do a few more right here to make it denser and more beautiful and fuller. Pull it through the same way. Okay, make the loop nice and long. It really should be on the longer side. If we make it too long, we can always trim it later. But if it's too short, we'd have to do that one over. So let's aim to make the loops higher. Nice and tall. Okay, just keep following this method. Then we move right along to the next stitch. To build up the fullness, pull it through. Bring it out using that same technique. Secure it just like this until we've filled the whole area we planned out. Once it's all filled in, we can move on to filling in the white part. First, let's get that blue part nice and full. Then, we'll tackle the white part. Fill it in that area. Once that's done, I'll walk you through the next step. Okay, the blue part is all set. Now let's work on the yellow part. We use the same gradient technique for the yellow too. You can use the thread from your material pack to make this part. So again, we'll work with 5 strands. We'll layer the yellow strands together, folding until we have 4 layers. Once we have those 4 combined, we can add a white strand into the mix. Then layer them all together like this. This is the thread bundle we'll use using the same method as before. We'll work on this spot, right next to the blue part and at the bottom, to plant this area while we're planting this grass. You can use your fingers to gently fluff and separate the loops. Otherwise, they might get a bit tangled on us. You might notice that the thread isn't quite going where you want. That's totally okay. I'll show you how. Okay, so place your crochet hook back into the fabric. Just like before, find the last stitch you worked into, which is exactly where you want to add more grass. Once you know this little trick, You can place your grass exactly where you want it. Use the same crochet hook to catch and pull through that little starting tail of thread. Now, you can use your other hand to hold things steady. Hold down the spot you're working on and then pull the hook through. This will form a little loop. We guide that starting point right into the loop and pull it through the same way. Sometimes the loops you've already made can get caught. You can use your index finger to gently hold them back and press down lightly on the area with the hook. Then, just continue with your stitch. Use this hand to keep pressing here and pull the hook through. That forms your nice little coil. Now we need to gently pull out the finished loop of grass and adjust it. Try not to squish the other loops you've made. Okay, let's just keep using this method to fill up the area we're focusing on. Then I'll show you how to fluff it all up to make it look like it's blooming. Alright, we've planted both the blue and the off-white parts. Now, if you like this curly coiled effect, you can absolutely leave it just like this, or you can trim it at the very end. If you prefer a softer, more scattered look, you can take your scissors and snip apart those coiled loops on top, separating them and gently spreading them out. That will create that beautiful scattered effect. You can cut them one by one. If it looks a little uneven after cutting, we can always go back in and give it a little trim to even things out. Or you can shape it into whatever form you like. It's very forgiving and easy to shape. You can cut and style it however you imagine. It's perfectly fine if the cuts aren't perfectly even. Just cut it the way you picture it in your mind. So let's use this method and snip them one lovely loop at a time. Once it's all cut, it'll look just like a beautiful piece of blue and lively coral. Let's give it a final gentle trim. And there you have our very own coral piece. You can keep trimming it into the exact shape you love.